the halfway point today and get to the next place tomorrow. Lyndon driving again, me being an expert navigator on the only road there is in Laos basically, so how could I get it wrong? But what else has been happening, Lyndon?
Not much, driving. Just left Luang Prabang after camping out there for a couple of
days,
yeah, 2 nights. So basically just put up on the side of the road, had a sleep, and just slept in the car, walked around the town for a while. So pretty cool little city, lots of watts, and I think it's like 32 watts, a lot of westerners though, so it's pretty, busy, paid foreign price.
We met an Australian couple, didn't we?
Yeah, informed us of a typhoon that hit behind the way we came into Luang Prabang through the mountains, where we had to stop about 3 or 4 times for landslides. Apparently a typhoon hit shortly after we've gone through there, which we saw a storm brewing and we got past it. But apparently it was about a 4-day delay. This is what you get used to in Laos, like roads just disappear. At least here we're not too high up in the mountains. So back up in the mountains you have roads that just disappear, and you've got like a kilometre cliff drop right down to the bottom. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. We're heading to eventually try and hit up a Moten or something like that, which is a crossing with China and Laos. But today we're just trying to get to the halfway point so we can pull over on the side of the road again and have a snooze. We do have our tent and all our camping gear.
I don't think sleeping isn't very good here.
Unfortunately, because of all the high bombings back in the Vietnam War, Laos is like the most bombed country per capita. So there's unexploded bombs all over the place. So it's like every couple of hours I think someone gets injured from an unexploded bomb. So
yeah, 1 person a day in Laos dies because of an unexploded bomb that they find and it explodes on them. So camping's not a big thing here.
Yeah, many of them they don't have the resources to clear it. You've got a company called MAG, which is world funded, and they go by every day and clear out bombs, but they can only do half a metre strip by a couple of metres per day, or whatever, however long it was. So it's not real safe to pull over anywhere unless it's been cleared, which it hasn't. So it's mainly just stuck in the sleeping in the car, which we're getting used to.
We had a petrol issue.
Yeah, so our fuel had a bit of issues trying to get the fuel we need for this car. So we had 95 octane because it's an old leaded vehicle, but we're managed to be running on 91, just regular unleaded. It took a bit, but coming into, was it Ponzavan or whatever, the fuel, we started noticing the poor quality of fuel in Laos. So the car was basically, whenever you hit the brakes or you slow down for a pothole, the engine would just die. So you had to constantly just be turning it over, which was killing the battery, and it was just a pain in the ass. So a lot of the time we had to learn to use two feet on 3 pedals all at once, so heel toe and accelerator. So just so to keep the car running. But we've had a bit of a play around with the carburetor and we've retuned it so we can idle, but we are idling high and we are burning through fuel.
Yeah.
But it's the best of the shit situation, I guess. Mind you, we are burning through fuel. We are doing about 10 to 15 litres per 100 k's or something like that. It's not very good, but we do only have a 40 litre tank. So it's it's pretty piss poor size for the journey we got ahead. So that was our fuel issue. We had a steering issue where we were just creaking, groaning. It was getting pretty stiff to turn around the corners up in the mountains, and coming through the mountains it was pretty much second, third gear max maximum 40 kilometres an hour. It's just so windy. So had to fix that up. Problem ended up being down in our bowl joints. It was just full of all the roadside mud and clay and grit had just gone in there, and because of the heat of outside, the humidity and the heat of our engine basically just set it all solid. So I had to get a few rocks and sticks in there and gut all that out. So we're running a bit better now. Fortunately, our suspension now is making a bit of a creak and groan, but it's pretty much the same again. But yeah, so we ended up here. Basically, yeah, all around this area is pretty famous in some aspects. They're heading towards the Golden Triangle. So as it is, you've seen many militants and guerrillas armed with AK-47s.
Yeah, they're just chilling on the side of their road, on the road with their big guns.
Yeah, just chilling in these little towns we pass through, which, basically a couple of houses on one street. Plenty of law enforcement armed with AK-74s. There's been a couple of them armed with American carbines. So it's getting pretty fun. A lot of police or militants, I'd say, on the roads. One of these towns up here we pass through, there's a suspected US heroin processing plant, which kind of goes along with all the CIA or ex-CIA Lima site airstrips all around this place, which are all from the covert war in Laos that's happened in the past. So many of them are still, they're non-operational, quote unquote. But yeah, so that's pretty much where we are. Lots of hostiles, gone through some unsafe looking towns, but I mean, relatively they've been friendly. Yeah, a lot of potholes, so we're getting close to China. Yeah, and then one issue we've just recently found out, we sort of got known to it the day we crossed into Laos, was to do with our registration on the vehicle. So our car's only registered to the 15th of January. Now, when we got the car transferred, the people at DLT told us, we can go in 3 months beforehand, but, on the first of that month, being the 1st of October, we can go into DLT, which is like your service TAS or your DMV, and renew the rego and the tax and everything for another year. So we did it, went there, but hours later they're telling us, no, you can't do it. So, we're only registered till the 15th of January 2017, so it's only like 3 months or something.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Thailand registration, you can't pay it over the internet like you can in Australia, or...
No, you can't do anything like that, so...
Because you have to get your vehicle inspected every year, so they kept on telling us that we would just have to bring the vehicle back, which probably doesn't suit what we want to do.
No, well, you got to get stamps. They got to do stamp markings of your VIN number, your chassis number, and stuff. So
and because we've got a gas tank installed, they have to check that to make sure it's all in working order and stuff.
It's no real biggie, but yeah. So now we've got to try and work out what to do, basically, as sure if we go through Europe we can get temporary registration, but that's only going to be as good as the registration, the Thai registration will just overlap it. So our main, the only thing we can really do now is, as we pass up through Finland, is hope to go stop in at the Thai embassy and try and work something out with them, whether it be we take the car to a local mechanic and get the stampings and they certify it and send it off, or I have no idea. But from what everything we've been reading up when we've had the very short amount of internet, basically saying we're pretty much buggered. So our choice now is to pretty much, as soon as we get up to Finland, Sweden area, it's going to be almost time to run the rego out.
Yeah, so that means that we either have to import the car into Sweden, which they drive on the other side of the road, so I don't know how much they like that.
Left-hand drive, so if you had to import it in there, you're looking at thousands of dollars just importing, plus you've got to convert your headlights around. You've got to convert your whole steering column. You've got to convert everything around to the left-hand drive, which will cost you, set you back a couple of $1,000, as well as the import tax, the car tax. What's this kid doing? And yeah, so pretty much, and from what I read, basically, if you're trying to take a right-hand drive car up to a left-hand drive country, you're not going to get, you can try and sell it, but you're not going to get any money for it. So basically, we're buggered. So we're going to get up there and pretty much buy the cheapest car we can, and try and find either a Suzuki collector up in
England.
Yeah, in England or somewhere like that, where they drive on the right, who will buy it or trade it, or
basically scrap it.
Yeah, which would be the worst case scenario, which I really don't want to do, because it's a great little vehicle. Ideally, I'd like to just renew the rego and keep it going, but if that's what it comes to. I mean, by the time we hit, I think, Sweden, we've got about 15 days till the rego runs out. So it's a case of where do we take it, So we've read up, found some stuff on, what's that country? Latvia or whatever.
No, Slovakia.
Oh, Slovakia, where it's the cheapest country to import a car in. So we can import a car into there for about
£60.
Yeah, 60. No, it's euro.
No, 60 euros. Yeah.
60 euro, another 30 something euro service fee. But in that needs an export certificate, which
we kind of don't have that.
Yeah, may not have gotten that, as it was a thing. Well, we told them what we were doing. They just gave us a passport for the car and went from there. So, as it is, trying to find information out and do research when you speak English, and you're trying to do it for multiple foreign countries that speak their own language, have their own native language. Information is very scarce. It's all everywhere. So you'll look at 18 different websites or whatever, or forums and things, and every post will say something different. There's no solid answer. You can try and go contact the authorities and governments and stuff, but just as hopeless. But
we'll work it out.
Yeah, so pretty much worst case scenario, get rid of it. Well, we have to get rid of it before the rego runs out, otherwise it's literally scrap. So if you know anyone up in Europe, any European nation that is a Suzuki fan, would like a buy or trade or swap lovely old raised up vehicle.
Yeah, with tyre rego,
Yeah, tyre vehicle with a modified heater in the rear.
Yes.
She'll be coming up there around Christmas, New Year's time. So
it's a fantastic Christmas present for someone you love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be great if someone. That's a nice mountain. Be good for people with recreational vehicle.
Oh yeah.
But so that's basically where we're at the moment. We looked into possibly importing it into Ireland, because they, they drive on the left, they have, right-hand drive, and they're not all in miles and whatnot, so it's more ideal for this car. About, you can get it imported for less, mucking around, modifications to your car. But it's also one of the, most heavily government taxed transfer import countries. So it's, once again, you pretty much pay more than what the car's worth just on trying to import it and get some temporary registration. So pretty upset about that news, but
it's alright.
We've got a big road ahead, going to China, going to Mongolia and Russia. So we're trying to do a few video blogs and stuff before we get there. Otherwise, not going to have any internet and media blackout basically in China and Mongolia until we get a SIM card in Russia. So that's pretty much our update and current sit rep. So
Well, I will keep you up to date with what else we're up to.
yeah.
Alright,
See you soon.
bye.
Ciao.